Alright, so this is going to be the second video in my quick custom variations guide series for Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. In the second video, we're going to be taking a look at Baraka. Ultra Violence Baraka, as I like to call it. So this first variation out of two, again I have two here for Baraka. I've picked Gutted still, as I usually play combo heavy Baraka. And I feel like a lot of Baraka players are going to use this move. And the second move that I picked is, of course, Blade Charge. And I don't feel like this is, I feel like other people have probably had the same idea as me, probably come up with the same thing. This is pretty straightforward, I feel. But the reason we're picking Blade Charge is because when you have Gutted with Baraka, he becomes an absolute just nuke. Whenever you touch your opponent, he will nuke you. His optimal BNB mid-screen, I think, is about 40%, and I like doing the non-optimal to stay consistent, but it's still about 37, 38%, even if you don't do the full optimal. So, you're getting a ton of damage every time you touch your opponent. The one issue that Baraka really suffers is it's kind of hard to open people up to get that massive damage, though. And then a lot of times, you end up shimmying someone, or you end up getting that opening, you end up getting that stray hit or that punish, but the opponent had meter, and they just break away. Blade Charge is an insanely good move for this situation because, of course, Blade Charge is an armor break, and it will punish the opponent for breaking away. You and your opponent still have to play a little bit of mind games, but I'll show real quick just how effective this is. So again, off of a basic Baraka BNB, I'm just going to spam here. I just do dash forward, stand for into Gutted, from Gutted, excuse me, not into Gutted, into Chop Chop, right? Very basic combo, not the optimal for sure, but off of this same situation, I got 37%. Typically, what the opponent will do is they're going to break away right away from Gutted, right? So, you're only going to get 25. With a bit of dot, it's a bit more than that. It's probably closer to 26. But you're losing out on a lot of damage. Now, if the opponent breaks away right away, and I have Blade Charge, Blade Charge is going to punish them for a whopping 48%, almost 50% for trying to break away, which is more than you would have done in your entire combo, even doing the optimal Baraka combo. Now, of course, you might think, well, okay, this will catch some people off guard, but people that are used to it, they'll just try to delay the breakaway and break at the right time. And they absolutely can. But I'm going to show that if they delay their breakaway a little bit, they're going to end up eating a decent amount of damage. Let's just show late here. So, if they break late into the combo, they're going to be eating over 50%, 52, if they wait for this stand 4 to come out. Typically, why you'd wait for stand 4 to come out is in a situation like, let me set this up real quick. Let me have Baraka record this combo. Ooh, okay, I didn't, got it, didn't come out. Doing it live, folks. Like something like this, right? And as a Liu Kang player, I'm looking for the dash forward breaker. So there are two different timings that I can break away on: the dash forward or the stand 4. If I break away on stand 4, I'm gonna take the armor break. He's gonna get 36% without the crushing blow, and with the crushing blow, he's going to get over 50. But if they do try to break away on the dash, I believe I can show this with delay maybe, you can dash forward and then just do it. And then just do Blade Charge without stand full. See? And it will still give you the 48 from earlier. With the crushing blow. Without it, without the crushing blow, you are getting 37. So with a little, again, or 31, excuse me, 31.7 with a little bit more dot after that. So basically what I'm trying to get at is, while there is still a mind game for the opponent to break on when in your combo, there are multiple different timings that you can do the Blade Charge. And if they guess wrong at all, they're gonna get smacked, and they're gonna take much more damage. There is a situation, there are a couple of these timings though, where it, you know, if they don't break at the time you think they're going to, if they just stay, there are timings where you'll just whiff, and then you're gonna lose out on damage, so you do have to be careful. See, like this, I'm gonna whiff underneath them. So, you have to be careful, but I think it adds a lot to Baraka here, because it tempts the opponent on breaking away, and then gives you big damage when they decide they want to. Whether you use the Crushing Blow or not, but especially with the Crushing Blow. The second thing that this gives you, obviously it gives you a very fast approaching mid charge. You can punish some things he wouldn't normally be able to punish with this in certain scenarios. It's an all-around decent move, although it is minus on block. It is minus 13. It also gives him a side switch. You can choose to toss the opponent over Baraka's head, which means he can side switch for 20%. That ain't bad damage off of his 1-1 2-starter. So it has a couple of features that come with the move. But another big thing that I like using this for is forward 4-4 mid-screen. So a lot of people say forward 4-4 for the corner, because in the corner, off of this, you can confirm gutted and then get big damage, right? But mid-screen, gutted's gonna whiff. And nothing else that you do will hit. You can try Blade Sparks. You know, it ain't gonna happen. So what mid-screen you're gonna get is you get a flag plant. If I don't fuck it up. You get a flag plant. Which is okay, but you're losing out a lot of damage if you end up getting this Crushing Blow mid-screen. So mid-screen, with Blade Charge, you can get Blade Charge off of this Crushing Blow for very respectable 27%, almost 30. Now, I will warn, the opponent can break out of this with the fastest timing. See? However, if they even fuck it up a little bit, I don't know why I started doing stand 1 there, you're gonna catch them. And then you're gonna get 43%. So, if they even are sleeping just a little bit at the wheel, they're gonna get caught for a ton of damage. I just like being able to have an option off of this mid-screen sometimes at the end of a match. I managed to land this, and this gives me an option whether the opponent is out of meter to break away or they fuck up their breakaway timing because they're not prepared. This gives me an option mid-screen for that. So this is the first variation. It is basically just damage Baraka without the extended strings, because I don't find myself using them too much, but you might need those pokes in a certain matchup for sure. But I like giving him the armor break. And we'll click on over to a quick second variation that I think is also fairly good. So this is Flesh and Bone Baraka. And for this variation, I've given him Blood Lunge and Leg Kebab. So, Leg Kebab is a low that leads to a dot damage and also has a Crushing Blow if the opponent is stand blocking. So if they try to block some kind of overhead, they get Crushing Blowed by the enhancement on this, doing some pretty nice damage. You can also throw the opponent away on Enhance for this, so it does give you that same kind of side switch property from before. And this gives him kind of pseudo mix-ups. You can do, like, 1-2, and instead of doing the overhead off of 1-2-2, you can do 1-2 Leg Kebab. I believe these can be fuzzied, but, you know, if you're playing online more casually, etc., this is kind of like mix-up Baraka. I think Leg Kebab is a pretty good move. It's pretty decent. If you want to play mix-up Baraka, this is what I would use. We're combining Leg Kebab's overhead low mix-up with Blood Lunge, which is a command throw. Now, it is a command throw that can be ducked. It is a high. I don't know what I'm doing. So, if the opponent ducks it, you know, I'm not sure of all the tick throws, but I do believe that Baraka does get tick throws off of Blood Lunge, though. I'm not a Baraka main, so I would have to look more into it, but he can tick throw off of this. And in those situations where you can tick throw, you could also do Leg Kebab instead and get kind of a pseudo mix off of it. Also, because Blood Lunge is, like I said, a throw, a lot of times they're going to be neutral ducking, and you can catch them with like Kebab in any of those situations. Blood Lunge is also great because he has an overhead here, which is reactable. It's quite slow at 28 frames, but it has a similar animation to the startup of his back 2, his overhead, if I can not fuck up moves with my D-pad. So you can catch a lot of people off guard with this variation. I do not feel like this one is as competitively viable, but I have a lot of fun playing this Baraka, and if you're just fucking around in Combat League or casual matches, whatever it might be, maybe with friends, I like mixing people with this Baraka. It's a lot of fun. You can catch a lot of people off guard between the command throw and the leg kebab. So this is the more fun of the two, in my opinion. You're obviously not going to get your big nuke damage or anything like that, but I like pairing these two moves together. And that's about it. I can also mention some minor things, like off of the forward 4 crushing blow here, you can also confirm Blood Lunge if the opponent doesn't break away, so you get some pretty respectable damage off of that forward 4 crushing blow mid-screen, like we talked about for the other variation. And I think that's about it. Some other notable moves for Baraka would be Spine Burst. You could use Gutted and Spine Burst for some pretty interesting corner combos, and some consistent anti-airs that are really good into anti-air combos. But you're sacrificing Chop Chop for Spine Burst, so you have to change around your Gutted combos a little bit for the Ender not to be Chop Chop. Usually you'll just end into Gutted again. But yeah, that's pretty much Baraka. Really fun character. I don't play a ton of Baraka. I'm decently versed in him, and I just thought that these moves worked really well together. These seemed like pretty obvious fits. I feel like a lot of people are going to come to the conclusion of the armor break with Gutted, because it adds a lot of... It makes the opponent think a little bit about their breakaway instead of not thinking at all, because they can eat over 50% just by timing it wrong. So, yeah, that's about it. And I will see you guys in the next one when we check out more characters and custom variations.